Can I beat Pokemon Platinum with one Pachirisu? Let's find out. Platinum. A game known for its higher difficulty. Today we test its true nature as I go through the entire game with a single Pachirisu. This is my first time attempting a Pokemon challenge, not counting a Nuzlocke of course, but I think I can handle it. Now, let's break it down. Pachirisu, the 417th Pokemon in the Pokedex, having a base stat total of around 405, is on par with the middle stage evolutions of the starter trio. Taking a closer look, we see that it has pretty high base speed, and something you wouldn't think, a pretty high special defense and physical defense stat. The speed is what I care the most about, as it'll allow us to hopefully take down our opponents before they get a chance to retaliate. The high defenses are a nice bonus though, allowing us to take a couple hits if need be. I was hoping for higher offensive stats, but we should be able to make do. Since they're about equal, that allows Pachirisu to make better use of all the moves it's able to learn. Moving on to the level up moveset, we see that Pachirisu doesn't get that many offensive moves, Discharge being its best stab attack, and Super Fang or Last Resort being good high power attacks with a bit of setup. Nothing else damage wise that seems too useful other than maybe Swift. The best status move I see on this list would probably be Sweet Kiss, a move that inflicts confusion onto the opposing Pokemon, something I believe will definitely come in handy, given Pachirisu the edge it needs in most of the fights. The move Pachirisu learns through TMs add a lot more versatility to its kit. Some that will give Pachirisu the diversity it needs are Dig, Grass Knot, U-Turn, Iron Tail, and potentially Hidden Power, on a good roll that is though. Moves like Return and Charge Beam give Pachirisu some power boosting that might be necessary later down the line. But nothing else really sticks out to me as too useful, except for maybe Toxic or Rest, but those seem to be a bit risky to go with, but definitely something to keep in mind. Alright, before we start, how about you guys comment down below stating if you think I can beat this challenge or not. Based off the breakdown, I think I have a solid chance. Only things I'm worried about though are some later rival fights, Bertha the Ground Elite 4 member, and of course Cynthia and her Garchomp. So let us begin. Kicking things off, we name ourselves and then our rival. Then, using the Universal Randomizer, I replace Piplup with Pachirisu. Doing this gives our rival Turtwig, who will later become a Torterra. The difficulty with this is the fact that 1, grass types are resistant to electric type moves, but adding the ground type makes Torterra immune to all electric type attacks, while also giving him ground moves that will be super effective, probably insta-killing our Pachirisu. Oh, and before I totally forget, here are Pachirisu's stats, level 6, whoops. Anyways, having a gentle nature which boosts our special defense at the sacrifice of our physical defense, which is pretty alright. There are better natures, but I think we should be okay. We have a Runaway's ability, good for keeping progress moving smoothly, but not so great for combat, and our stats aren't that much to write home about, but again, we are only level 6. From there on, we head to Rowan's lab, where we are given the chance to name our Pachirisu. Our Pachirisu is a male, so I named it Midir. See if you can figure out what that name is a reference to. When we leave the lab, we receive the TM for return, and then head straight to Jubilife City, where we bump into a strange man named Looker, some sort of investigator, but more importantly we receive the Poketch, one of my favorite uses of the DS touchscreen, something I will be utilizing quite a bit in this playthrough. Finished with our city shenanigans, we head to the first real rival fight with Foot. The fight is a bit of a drag, as Starly keeps lowering our attack with Growl, but with enough of our own quick attacks we manage to take it out. Sending out Turtwig, we try to keep up the quick attacks, but the combination of our lowered attack and it using Withdraw, I switch to using Bide. Almost fainting in the process, but it is enough to knock out our opponent. From there, we head to Orberg City to challenge Rourke, the first gym leader. We managed to defeat his Geodude, but sustain a good bit of damage from the fight and faint to his Onix. We need to grind for a bit. Coming back at level 22, and with Midir knowing Swift, we can take out Geodude in 2 hits. Onix is a bit more persistent, tanking quite a few hits from Swift and getting healed from a potion, but we managed to take it out as well. Finally, he sends out Cranidos, his only pure rock Pokemon, meaning we can hit it with Spark. It only takes 2 hits from Spark to take it out, but we did get lucky in surviving a headbutt. Once Cranidos falls, we receive the Coal Badge. After that, we head to the Valley Windworks, where we have our first main battle with Team Galactic, Mars. She sends out a Zubat first, but it's no problem since we have Spark. Her Purugly, on the other hand, is a bit more of a challenge, as it starts with Fake Out and can take a lot more hits. However, just a few Sparks and Swifts are able to take it out. The defeated Purugly gives us the Devil's Number in experience points. Foreshadowing? I'd say so. We then get to adventure into Eterna Forest, a good place for grinding as it has a lot of trainers and wild Pokemon, and we get free heals from our companion Cheryl. After the forest, we challenge the Grass-type gym leader Gardenia. We get it all the way to our last Pokemon Roserade, leveling up once to 29, learning Discharge, but we are only surviving on 10 HP. We're gonna have to try this a few more times. Coming back at level 30, try the fight again. Using Return and Swift, we force her to use a Super Potion on Turtwig, and then 3 more Swifts to knock her out. Turtwig does, however, put us about half health. She sends out Cherrim, but we're lucky and we get a Sweet Kiss off, causing her to get confused and hit herself on her own turn. Using Discharge, we get a critical hit, forcing her to use another Super Potion. Then, with a Swift, Return, and then her being confused and another Swift, we take out Cherrim. Finally, she sends out Roserade. We are able to get a Sweet Kiss off on her, causing her to be confused on her turn. A Swift does a decent chunk of damage, however, Roserade is able to hit Stun Spore and use a Citrus Berry to heal up. Fighting through the paralysis, we use another Swift, but Roserade then uses Magical Leaf, leaving us on 3 HP. However, 1 more Swift takes the victory, earning us the 2nd gym badge. Taking care of Team Galactic in Eterna City, we fight Juniper. Believe it or not, Jupiter is as easy as Mars. 1 discharge to take down Zubat, and 3 discharges plus a bonus dodge to her Skunk Tank's poison gas to take it out. Arriving at Hearthome City at level 36, we try the Ghost Gym, but lose to a combination of Burn, Confusion, and Shadow Ball. Trying a few more times, we get lucky with no Will-O-Wisp to burn us at the beginning, and Meteor blasting through her entire team with just Discharge, earning us our 3rd gym badge from Fantina. We can now move on to the next fight. But before that, here's a feature you guys might forget. I forget about it all the time. There's the little Amity Square, where, like in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, you can walk with your Pokemon. Well, you can do that here, but with only a specific group of Pokemon that are deemed cute by in-game standards. So, lucky me, Pachirisu's on the list, and we take a nice little peaceful walk. Alright, enough cuteness. We leave Hearthome City and get into a fight with our rival. 1 discharge is enough to take out his Staravia, and 1 more for his Weasel. Grottle is a bit more challenging due to its many resistances, so I start by using Sweet Kiss. Grottle uses Razor Leaf, but we dodge it, landing a Super Fang. Then, he hits us with the Razor Leaf, but a return, a hit to Confusion on its side, and a return on our side again, take it out. This last Pokemon is a Ponyta, and a single discharge takes care of it, winning us the fight. We then make another pit stop in Solaceon Town, the area that gives us ball capsules, another unique feature that gives us an extra layer of personality to your team. Spending around an hour catching unknowns for the letters I needed for this joke, please do as my Pokeball says and subscribe. Moving along in Veilstone, we challenge Maylene. Meditite goes down fast from a discharge and return. Lucario is a different story. We land a Sweet Kiss, but Lucario still manages to get a hit. We use Discharge for a decent chunk of damage, but Lucario heals with a Drain Punch. Another Discharge and Lucario finally hitting itself in confusion, we get it to red. I then stupidly use Super Fang, allowing another hit from Drain Punch. We use Discharge to be safe and take it out. With only 16 HP, I have no faith in our ability to win this fight, but we try anyways. A Discharge brings Machoke to less than half health. It uses Rock Tomb. We miraculously live on 1 HP and finish off Machoke with a final Discharge, earning us the 4th gym badge. I get sidetracked once again, this time at Dr. Footstep's house. By looking at Meteor's feet, he tells us that we are good friends and awarded Meteor with a foot ribbon. This really tells me that we're at max damage for return. Next, we battle our rival once again, and things are going pretty well until Grottle gets an unlucky crit on Razor Leaf and takes us out on his next turn. Trying again yields similar results. Even though we beat Grottle this time, Meteor is at such low health that one Aqua Jet takes us out. It's time to grind. Coming back at level 48, we have a much easier time. 1 discharge takes out Staravia, he sends out Ponyta, and a discharge puts it in the red. He uses Stomp for a little damage, but a return takes it out. He sends out Grottle, and I try using Sweet Kiss, but am unsuccessful. Luckily for me, he only uses Withdraw, so I try again and it sticks. Using Discharge for more damage, he snaps out of Confusion. I use another Sweet Kiss, and he lands a Razor Leaf. Fed up with my Confusion luck, I stick to Discharge. Grottle lands a critical Razor Leaf as I paralyze him. Fully paralyzed, I take him out. With enough HP left over to survive an Aqua Jet, a single Discharge takes out Buizel, winning us the fight. Crash Wake is next. His Gyarados stands no chance as Meteor uses Discharge, which still happens to be a 4-time super effective move against such a Pokemon. His next Pokemon is Quagsire, who falls to a 1-hit of a Grass Knot. Finally, his Floatzel faints to a Discharge. Definitely the easiest fight in this game for us. Everything after this is probably going to be an uphill battle though. We battle Cyrus in Celestic Town, utterly destroying his team with Discharge. Alright, from now on, it's going to be an uphill battle. Canalave City is where we head next and are immediately treated to one more rival battle. Straptor and Rapidash are no problem. Heracross takes us to half health before we defeat him. The main threat is Torterra. It brings us to 13 HP before we take it out, and like last time, one Aqua Jet finishes the fight. Trying again, we take out Staraptor in one hit. Rapidash goes down in two, but we take damage from takedown. Heracross brings us to 43 HP with a Brick Break, but two discharges take it out. Using Sweet Kiss on Torterra, we get lucky as it hurts itself in confusion, allowing us to use Gratnots as it hits itself. And a second Grass Knot finishes the job. Once again, we have enough HP to survive an Aqua Jet and take out Floatzel, winning the fight. We're level 55 by the time we reach Byron, but his Steel typing makes this all the more difficult, as we can barely do any damage to Magneton before he switches into Steelix, who ends the fight with an Earthquake. I decided to go off and grind in Iron Island, as there are lots and lots of trainers and wild Pokemon, and we get free healing. At level 60, I attempt the fight again. I use Discharge to bring Magneton close to half health while it uses Metal Sound. Another Discharge takes it out. Using Grass Knot on Steelix, almost destroying it, we get lucky as it uses Sandstorm. One more Grass Knot to take it out. His last Pokemon is Bastiodon. A Discharge does a good chunk of damage along with paralyzing it. Getting a free turn from Paralysis, I use another Discharge, causing it to use a Berry, and Bastiodon hits a low power Stone Edge. Two more Discharges are all we need to win the fight and win our 6th gym badge. After the gym, we are given the Galactic Lake side quest. Since these battles are somewhat repetitive, I'm just going to skip over the description. Finally reaching Sinnoh Point City at level 64, we challenge Candace. Things are going smoothly until Abomasnow. It's such a powerhouse that after multiple failed attempts, I decided to go grind. At level 66, we return once more. Sneasel goes down with one U-turn. Next is Piloswine, who takes a Grass Knot and sets up Hail. Two more Grass Knots to take it out. While doing a good chunk of damage from Woodhammer, two U-turns take out Abomasnow. Last up is Frostlass, who takes more than half from Discharge, gets paralyzed, and heals from a berry. Frostlass hits us hard with Blizzard, and a hit from Hail puts us at 18 HP, but one more Discharge finishes the fight. After the Sinnoh Point Gym, we head back to Veilstone City to deal with Team Galactic. Atop of the building, we fight Cyrus. His Sneasel is persistent, but a few U-turns take it out. Crobat goes down in one Discharge, and his Honchkrow faints to a single Discharge as well. Here's a quick timeout from all the battling. I have a Twitter page that you may or may not know about. Link is in the description. I think you should go check it out. Maybe even give it a follow or a few likes. It's where I'm trying to stay more active and update any future plans I've got. It's right now probably the best place to know when I'm uploading or seeing things I like, or give me a shout and say, hey, try doing this next video. Alright, I think it's time to get back to the fun. The last battle in the Galactic Building is Saturn. Beating him lets us free the Lake Trio. We then head up to Mount Coronet, reaching Jupiter and Mars on Spear Pillar. With the help of Foot, we're able to take him out easily. It is here we traverse to the Distortion World to take out Cyrus. Now, as much as I love the Distortion World as a part of this game, I'm going to skip straight to the Cyrus fight, as it took me about an hour to figure out how to get to him. Finally making it to Cyrus, and his first Pokemon up is Houndoom. Meteor does good damage with a Discharge and tanks a Flamethrower like a champ, finishing off Houndoom with one more Discharge. Next up is Gyarados. We already know how easy these things are. One Discharge takes it out. Weavile is up next, and it starts by using Fake Out, but even with the reduction of one turn, we easily take it out with two Discharges. His last two Pokemon are Honchkrow and Crobat, both taken out with one Discharge each, and with that, Team Galactic is finished. One final mission in the Distortion World is for Meteor to defeat the Pokemon Devil and prove his badassery, and we do just that. Who knew Giratina was such a chump? With the world saved, we can finally head to Sunyshore City and take on Volkner. Having Dig on Meteor makes this fight pretty easy, but Jolteon using Thunder Wave slows us down. Ultimately, his Luxray taking us out. A few tries later, I decided to replace our Magnet with a Cherry Berry to negate the paralysis. Starting with U-turn, we allowed Jolteon to hit us with Thunder Wave, but the berry works its magic, allowing one Dig to take it out. Electivire is up next, and even with him landing a Fire Punch, it isn't enough to stop us. Two Digs take him out. We use Dig to take Luxray to half health as it hits us with a Crunch, lowering our defense stat. But one more Dig does the job. Last up is Raichu, and we only use Dig once more to take it out, earning us our final gym badge. All that's left is Victory Road, which wasn't all that bad except for one trainer with a Torterra. I spent close to an hour on her as there was no way around, and this does not give me much hope for our fight with Foot. By the time we reach the plateau, we are level 77, and our final rival battle starts. Our fears were as bad as we predicted. I tried this fight over and over, slowly leveling each time, and Torterra's just too much. There was one time I even beat his Torterra, but his goddamn Snorlax had Earthquake too. Then I got an idea. I went to Fugo Ironworks to get a citrus berry and gave it to Mah-Dry. Now this reduces our electric attack since we're removing the magnet, but when we take enough damage, we'll heal with the citrus berry. At level 99, we try the fight again. Staraptor easily goes down to 1 discharge. Torterra comes out, but we bring it down to low HP with a grass knot. It hits an earthquake, but our berry activates and we strike down Torterra. He then sends out Snorlax and we use discharge. Snorlax retaliates with an earthquake, but isn't stabbed. Therefore, it does minimal damage. 1 more discharge and Snorlax uses rest. While it's asleep, we use 2 discharges and a grass knot to take it out. Next up is Heracross. We use discharges as it attacks with a close combat, leaving us at 25 HP. Another discharge takes it out. With Floatzel, I was worried, but it doesn't use Aqua Jet, so we get to defeat it with 1 discharge. Last out is Rapidash. Discharge puts it into the red, as it misses a Fire Blast. 1 last discharge secures the victory as we beat Foot for the last time. All we have left to do now is face the Elite Four. Now my 2 biggest concerns right now are Bertha and all her ground-type Pokemon, and Cynthia and her Garchomp. I think we'll be able to get through, but I don't think we'll be able to beat Cynthia until we get to level 100, and maybe do a bit of a cheese strategy. Comment down below your final guesses, and let's start this challenge. We start the Elite Four with Aaron, the Bug-type trainer. On our first go at him, we make it all the way to his Drapion before we're taken out. A couple tries later and we have better luck. Yanmega goes out with a single discharge, Heracross takes a discharge, getting paralyzed in the process. He gets a low roll close combat and we take it out with 1 more discharge. Another discharge takes out Vespiquen, Scizor tanks a hit and attacks with a Night Slash. A critical discharge takes it out. Last up is Drapion. We use Dig as it deals a good sum of damage. Drapion heals with its berry, but 1 more discharge takes it out. First member down. Second member is Bertha. Bertha actually goes a lot easier than expected. All of her Pokemon faint relatively easily due to Grass Knot. The main problem is Gliscor. It takes neutral damage from Grass Knot, and we can't survive more than 2 turns with it. I try multiple times, but I realize I need more power to defeat this Gliscor. I decide to head out and pick up the Miracle Seed and hunt for some rare candies. I try over and over again, but it isn't until level 100 that I can safely 2-shot her Gliscor. Here are Mah-Dry's stats. Since Bertha's Pokemon get 1-shot now, and her Gliscor gets 2-shot, I'll spare the play-by-play. Up next is Flint. His first Pokemon is Houndoom, which faints to 1 dig. His next is Infernape. We almost take it down with a dig, but it uses Flare Blitz, killing itself in the process. Sending out a Rapidash, who also goes down to 1 dig. Flareon is next, and of course, 1 dig takes it out. His last Pokemon, and one of my personal favorites, Magmortar, faints to 1 dig. 3 members down, 1 to go. The last member of the Elite Four is Lucian. The first Pokemon he sends out is Mr. Mime, which goes down to 1 U-turn. Next is Bronzong, which goes down to 2 discharge because it wasted its turn setting up. His third Pokemon is Gallade. It tanks a U-turn, striking back with a Psycho Cut, but we defeat it with a discharge. The next Pokemon is Alakazam, who faints to 1 U-turn. His last Pokemon is an Espeon, who lives on 1 HP from a U-turn before being 1-shot by a second U-turn. With that, we have defeated the Elite Four. Now, it is time for the final challenge, Cynthia. Our first attempt at her is cut short, as Garchomp's Earthquake does way too much damage and we don't do enough. I try multiple times, but with me being max level, I get stumped and can't really think of what else to do. But then, I remembered Pachirisu's available TMs. Mah-Dry can learn Quick Attack. I immediately head back to Veilstone City to pick it up from the game corner. I purchase it, head back, and try Cynthia again. Giving Pachirisu the Miracle Seed again, and replacing Dig with Double Team, we try again. However, I have the absolute worst luck. As I try to set up, by the time I have max Double Team, I'm below half health. Finishing off Spiritomb, she sends out Garchomp, who just finishes me off with another Earthquake. Before we go in for a second time, I notice I have Charge Beam. Charge Beam has a chance to power up our special attack when we hit. I decide to replace Discharge with it, as we aren't holding the magnet, so our electric moves won't be as powered up. We have better luck this time, taking minimal damage while setting up Double Team. From there, I start using Charge Beam and get 1 boost to special attack and knocking out Spiritomb with a second. Out next is Garchomp, and I'm nervous. But we hit a Grass Knot, and it does half of its health as he misses an Earthquake. 3 more Grass Knots take it out as we dodge its attacks and it spends a turn healing. After Garchomp, she sends out Lucario, who I hit with a Charge Beam and get the boost. It hits us with an Aura Sphere, but the second Charge Beam takes it out. Number 4 is Togekiss, and is 2 times weak to Electric-type moves, so 1 Charge Beam takes it out. 5th is Milotic, and of course, a Charge Beam takes it out, and we raise our special attack one more time. Her last Pokemon is Roserade, and 2 U-turns finish the job as she misses her attack. The battle over, we become champion, and prove that you can beat Pokemon Platinum with 1 Pachirisu. Towards the latter half of the game, I really didn't think I was going to be able to beat this challenge. I did get pretty stuck. You didn't see most of that, but A lot of the Elite Four it took me 4 or 5 hours just to figure out what to do. Overall, I did have a fun time though, and playing through these challenges is really cool. I do have a few ideas for other ones, because I do know that some people have the idea that, oh, you just level up a Pokemon to level 100 and you win, which was kind of the case, and having the right moves did help, but I want to try challenges that are a little more, I wouldn't say the word challenging, because this was pretty hard at some points, like Byron, Bertha, Cynthia, our rival, that one girl in the Victory Road who had a Torterra. So for the next challenge, I was actually thinking something like using a Glameow in Platinum, as Glameow has got pretty low stats, and it's also a Pokemon I don't use ever. I do have a mock rule set for a potential challenge that I'd be willing to do in Fire Red, but I'm still working at the kinks, so I won't share too much on that other than I have an idea. Like I said earlier in the video, I have a Twitter, link in the description, and also the comment section, so if you guys have any ideas for what I could do to improve these videos, or what challenge I should do next, I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments. This has been a long video to make. I am tired, so I'm going to call it here. Like if you liked, subscribe if you liked. My name is Zetamous, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace!